Welcome back to the Papa Me channel. How you doing? Come on in and sit on down. Today, I went and saw Cocaine Bear because this movie has been hyped. I don't know if it's been critically well received, but the general public seems to like it. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go to a late showing. It's the only showing that had good seats left, whatever. So saw it, and, here's hype. If this video ends, I would say if you're just looking for a blanket score, 6 out of 10. Today's video is sponsored by Keeps. Keeps is a discreet online service that brings hair care right to your door. One of the most terrifying things that can happen to a person is hair falling out, getting patchy, getting thin. I mean, it's a nightmare. Realistically, a lot of guys' hair starts to fall out by 35. That's not gonna happen to me. But if it did, I'd get Keeps. Keeps has expert recommended hair care treatment plans that help you with specific needs. The treatment plans are extremely affordable, and most customers experience results in about 6 months after using Keeps. Keep your hair issues a secret and gain your confidence back with one of the most trusted brands around. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of your hair, Keeps has you covered. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get a special offer, go to keeps.com/papameat or click the link in the description. That's keeps.com/papameat. Thank you, Keeps, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. So today I did watch Cocaine Bear, which is a new movie distributed by Universal Pictures, directed by the very talented Elizabeth Banks. You might know her from Wet Hot American Summer or her huge hit, Charlie's Angels, that everybody loved. And this movie takes place in Chattahoochee, Tennessee, and follows an angry bear who stumbles across cocaine in the forest and kills all sorts of unsuspecting victims in the forest. This is a based off a true story, which when people say based off a true story, it's like a very small fraction of something, and then they kind of just do whatever they want with something. And the actual Cocaine Bear, it was in 1985. A guy was flying an airplane, or what was the actual name? Andrew C. Thornton II was the drug smuggler's name, who was throwing duffel bags full of cocaine out of his airplane to lighten the plane's load. And he jumped out of the airplane, but his chute didn't deploy, and he died. He fell on the ground, and all the bags of cocaine went to the forest, and then a big American black bear ate up like 40 containers of cocaine and died of a drug overdose. So no, there wasn't any big crazy deaths in the woods or anything like that, but you can still see the Cocaine Bear, who was owned by Waylon Jennings. It's in Kentucky right now at like a Kentucky mall. It's the Cocaine Bear. They're the one who labeled it the Cocaine Bear. So it's based off that story. The movie, when it begins, it does a nice little montage of showing you actual news clips from that day, which is pretty fun. But then pretty much everything we get after that is just kind of shitty, generic schlock that's kind of fun. You know, it's a little fun. You know, the story itself feels so generic. To me, you know, the whole movie is just about people that are in the forest with the bear, and it's just about finding really stupid ways to have them go up there. One of the stories being a mom looking for her daughter, and you kind of have this like little beginning thing where it's like introducing the mom and her daughter, and the mom's just like, hey, I've been getting my pipes banged out by some new dude. We're gonna go to Tennessee with them. And then the girl's like, I don't want to watch you get your pipes banged out, mom. That's too much. And it's like they try to start like a little bit of like, ooh, there's some bad blood between the mom and the daughter, but it's really not that big of a deal. If anything, the daughter's like, all right, fine. And like, that's the extent of it. But then the daughter skips school with her autistic friend, and they go into the woods to paint like a waterfall or something. The whole thing with the mom and the daughter, I'm like, just get rid of that. Just get rid of that. The movie also focuses on these 3 drug dealers. Ray Liotta, Random Guy, and Ice Cube's son are all drug dealers who were supposed to be the people who got the cocaine, but there's like weird family drama where Ray Liotta's son, who's this crybaby sad boy, is upset because his wife died, and he has a kid that's pawned off on Ray Liotta, and you see the kid once in the movie in a ball pit. You don't even see him. It's just a child jumping into a ball pit. And then Ice Cube's son is Ray Liotta's like goon, who's like, we gotta get my son in shape so he can go and get back in the drug business with his pops. And it's just like, it's just another huge story. It doesn't feel, it feels just as like grandiose as a main story. So it feels like it's just 2 main stories combating against each other, and it's just very odd. I think that, keep the drug story line because the movie's called Cocaine Bear, and then get rid of the mom who's trying to get banged out by some dude that we never see, or at least show the fuck scene of the mom, dude. You know what I'm talking about? The little girl walks in on the mom. And the movie does like a weird thing where it's like you have the mom and the daughter, but the dad's missing. You have the drug dealer who's upset that his wife died and he pawns his son off to Chantix sponsor Ray Liotta. And then it's just like it feels like all the little main cast of characters are all like people that have broken families, kind of. Because even the mama bear doesn't have a papa bear. It's just a mama and her kids. So it's like, it feels like they were trying to say something with that, but it just kind of feels like an odd coincidence where I feel like after the end when they wrote it, they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. It all kind of just makes sense. Should we do anything to really tie it in? Nah, we're good. The whole movie is propped up on these like really weak stories, and there's like an ensemble of characters in this movie. It's like there's not like 9 main characters. It feels like it feels like there's way too many main characters. Like the storylines, they're trying to pull like a fucking Christopher Nolan, Memento, with like having all these stories connect and stuff. But it's Elizabeth Banks with a cocaine bear. Let's just focus on one person or like one particular group of people, and we'll just like get to experience people dying. But you know, in the studios, they were like scratching their head. They're like, how do we justify all these people being out in the woods? And it's like, it's 1985. There's nothing to do, and it's a state park. I think you can just have people out there, and everyone's gonna be like, okay, yeah. It's 1985. There's nothing to do. People, cell phones, those aren't a thing. You know, people can just be walking around the woods. It was a happier time. The movie itself is fun. We get to see a big bear, and they kind of introduce the movie where it's like you start off with a pretty gruesome kill, and all the kills are pretty gruesome. You know, it's a bear ripping people apart, but they don't really cut away. We get to see a lot of it. That's kind of fun. We don't linger on some stuff too long, but it's definitely gruesome in some parts, and it was a bit of a surprise. I mean, at the beginning, a pregnant woman dies. Thank God. No, I'm kidding. A pregnant woman dies. She gets like brutally eaten by this bear, and you're kind of led to immediately believe like, oh wait, no, this, anybody can be a victim in this movie, which is kind of fun. I like that. But even at the peak of the movie where I was like, oh, this is the funnest it was, it's probably like right around the midway point. So then like you peak in the middle and you kind of seen everything you needed to see with like a bear killing people in the woods. And then at the end, you kind of just, the rest of the movie, you just kind of have to wait for a generic storyline to finish. Oh God, I wonder what happens with this mom and her daughter. I'm bored. So, it's funny because they establish all these different characters, but it's like all the characters we barely know anything about, they're the funnest characters. Big ranger in the park, this woman who basically just wants to get fucking her muff eaten out by some like hippie dude, and then some drug dealer kids, and then the ambulance people. It's like all those characters were a lot funner because it's like, I don't care about the emotional connections of people in a cocaine bear movie. I'm not gonna have my life change. I'm not watching Gangs of New York. Daniel Day-Lewis isn't walking around the forest like, oh, hopefully gonna get this bear. I don't know why. That's not what he sounds like, but I wish the movie would have focused more on that. You can have a similar storyline. Like, you can keep the drug dealers who are looking for these bags of cocaine, in the forest, that it's their investment. They're trying to recoup their investment. I get that. That's fine. But, cut all the other shit out. I just want to see people get attacked by bears. That's the only reason people are going to see this movie. Throw random characters that are showing up to the park in situations and fun little things, picnics, ambulance reports or whatever. Just throw them in there and have a big gruesome bear show up and fucking kill people. I mean, it's awesome. That was the pinnacle of the movie. The funnest I had was when the characters, I didn't really know anything about them, and it was just their genuine reaction. And all those performances were good. And that's one thing I guess I should say too, is that all the characters in the movie, they're fine actors and stuff. The script can be kind of cringe at times, but generally I think all the jokes landed pretty well, and I think that generally it was a pretty funny movie. Is it Hangover funny? No, sweetie, it's not Hangover funny. Is it Ted funny? No, sweetie, it's not Ted funny, but it's good enough. For a movie about a killer bear that does cocaine, and it's supposed to be we're having fun, and tie your shoes. They're joking around. It could have been so much worse. The bear itself, the CGI, you gotta talk about the bear. I mean, he's on the cover. He's the poster child. He's the poster of the movie. Or she is, sorry. The CGI, it wasn't the best. I mean, what am I gonna do? Knock the fucking movie? It was made for $30 million. It's a pretty small budget. For what it was fine, but just particular moments were kind of distracting. It kind of felt like Yogi Bear at times. It's so overly apparent 3D that in some moments you're just kind of like, okay, it's silly that these people are laying on the ground talking to nothing because this is obviously a CG bear. But all in all, I mean, it's fine. It's passable. And that's the kind of the whole vibe with this movie. I'm like, it's fine. It's okay. It's cool. I hate with these arguments too, though, Nick, is when people are like, oh, well, if it's so bad, then let's see you do it. You know what I mean? Oh, I'd like to see you do a movie for $30 million and do the CGI. I'm not saying I'm not knocking anybody. I mean, like, the people did a fine job. I'm just saying, like, is it Avatar 2, Way of the Water? I haven't seen it, but the trailers, the CGI looks pretty good. Just in terms of the tone of the movie, I thought was kind of particularly interesting was I wish that they would have kept the movie more cartoony. There's a lot of great, funny little moments, and there's moments where, like, even the bear acting seems a little more human or aggressive, or, like, it doesn't feel as primal. It feels more cartoony in their approach, and I always like that. And then it's like they tried to have a level of camp where it's like, we know this is a crazy little movie about a cocaine bear. But then there's other moments where they try to ground it, and they're just like, we want to make you cry. This is actually supposed to talk about relationships with families, and it's supposed to talk about childhood trauma and having to deal with that as a child. And it's like, get that the fuck out of here, dude. Stay cheesy and campy. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, this is so silly, and then try to like drop some emotional shit, because it just like, it grinds the movie to like a really boring halt where you're like, oh god, just someone die. Someone needs to die in this scene for me to like kind of snap back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. You know, with the whole the campy side of things is you could look at a movie like Sharknado, another little quirky animal movie, but at least Sharknado is just like, hey, we're a big, dumb, cheap movie about sharks getting thrown through windows. And it's really kind of cheap and stupid. I don't think Cocaine Bear has to like be really cheap and stupid, but I think it just needs to be more consistent with like, what is it trying to be? Are you trying to make it a drama about like a mom, like Mystic River or wherever the fuck that movie is, or Brother Bear? Or are you trying to make it like, hey, we want to literally just give an experience for people to come see a movie about a bear ripping people's faces apart high on cocaine? And if it's so, just own it. Who cares? That's fine. What are we doing? You know, you're not making something respectable. You know, you're not making something respectable. It's kind of like if you're buying pussy for the first time and it's like, yeah, you had sex, but you bought it. I don't know. That doesn't really work, but I don't know. If they're trying to ground the movie and make it like, you know, have all these different things, yeah, maybe have the bear who's just kind of randomly going around killing things. Maybe have like stakes to the bear, like the mama bear is looking for her cubs, and it's like just apparently along that way she like got into some cocaine, so that's why she's so aggressive, is because she's on the defense, but now it's like elevated to that, you know what I mean, that extreme. She has some meaning as well, so maybe you feel more sympathetic towards the bear, but you can't just have a bear kill a bunch of people and then have her kind of, you come across, oh wait, she's a mom, she has cubs. Well, that makes me feel differently about the bear. I feel sad. It's like, no, you're a vicious fucking animal. Put it down and put the little cubs down, dude. Bash the fucking cubs in the head. Shoot the mom 6 times in the chest, and let's call it a day. You know, there's little kids out in the forest getting ready to get killed. Or we gonna just not kill the bears now? And that's where I could tell too. As soon as this happens, and also once again, spoiler alert, the mama bear doesn't die at the end. The cubs don't die at the end. And you know what I heard? Off in the distance, sequel bait! That's all I just, ooh, are we fishing? Like, let me open up my tack box here. Oh, there it is. That's the bait I'm looking for. Sequel bait. Ooh, there it is.
Well, I don't know. They didn't find all the drugs in the woods. Maybe the bear will keep doing cocaine and killing people.
Cocaine Bear 2. Except this time, probably the cubs are going to be, you know, grown up, and it's like 3 bears instead of just the one. But at the end of that one, the mom bear dies. So then the third one, now it's 2 fully grown bears, and it's just about those, like, basically those kids bears getting revenge. So that's already 3 Cocaine Bear movies. The only problem is, how do they justify that these animals don't have an overdose, especially with the amount of cocaine the mom does in the first one? I thought the movie was going to end with her having like overdosing, which would have tied in perfectly with the real story. You know, I mean, the bear does overdose in real life, but it's just fucking weird. It's like, really, there's no repercussions. You have children doing cocaine, like a lot. The kids in the movies, spoilers, the kids in the movies do cocaine, big mountains of it, and they know their tiny little hearts don't just fucking explode in their chest. How is that possible? If there would have been one moment in the movie where the children had an overdose on cocaine, that would have been like, this is like Oscar contender level thing. If you could be as bold to have kids do cocaine in a movie, and one of the kids is just like, I don't feel good, Rebecca. And the kid's just fucking like, and his chest is, he just dies of a heart attack. How fucking cool would that be? The bear doesn't even kill him, the cocaine does. And then see, you have another message too, dude. Drugs are bad. Bam. It's a great, just like one and done watch. Like a studio spent $35 million to give you an experience that a bear does cocaine and kills people in the woods, and it's not 2008. That's like a miracle within itself. So I would recommend this movie. I'd say go see it, enjoy it. Sure, the storyline's pretty fucking stupid. It's forgettable. You have way too many characters. Get that annoying ass kid, the boy, out of there, unless he has a drug overdose, then keep him in for the drug overdose, because that would be funny. It's a shame this is like Ray Liotta's last movie, which it's like, fuck. With the success of these movies as well, you're gonna have spin-offs. I know Asylum, oh god, Asylum Pictures or Studios, or what the fuck they're called, that garbage studio. They said Meth Gator is coming out, and they were trying to like market it in the replies, I think, to Cocaine Bear articles. It was really odd, but Meth Gator, you're gonna see a lot of weird shit coming out like that. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing though, Heroin Duck. I'm not gonna see Meth Gators. That's just not gonna happen. I think as long as this movie doesn't have a sequel, I would be like, it's fine. Like as a movie just to go see, it's fun. Throw it up on a stream, you and your buddies are hanging out, you want to watch something stupid and kind of laugh at like gruesome violence, just throw on Cocaine Bear. I just am praying, and I know it's going to happen, but I pray to God every day and say, listen, Muhammad, please don't let this be a franchise. Don't let this be a franchise, please. You know what? I tip my hats off to Elizabeth Banks. Do I think she handled the failure of Charlie's Angels a little poorly? Sure. You're not going to have a winner every time. But you know what? I think I like Elizabeth Banks. I'm glad that this movie's doing well. I hope everybody in the comments goes and sees this movie and they get to experience it. And then let me know down below what you thought of the movie. And also, I want to just see out of 10, what did you give this movie? And if you say 10 out of 10, give a justifiable reason. And if you say lower than a 6, I'd like to know why. I don't think the movie was that bad. Nick, do you think the movie was that bad? Okay, Nick he's a big stickler. His favorite movie is Stalker, that Russian movie. We'll just play like a little clip of Stalker. That's his favorite movie, and he said that he thought that Cocaine Bear was good. So I think it's pretty universal. I'd say it's a fun thing, you know. So all in all, Cocaine Bear, thumbs up. I'm excited for this year of more horror movies and stuff. If there's a horror movie you want me to watch, be sure to let me know. Also, check out the Patreon for exclusive content. We got some fun stuff up there. We're going to be doing more Patreon videos, a new Patreon video game soon, which will be fun. Oh yeah, also, this is a major announcement, is if you have a link to the Mean One, that Grinch horror film that came out, that like it did so bad that they fucking Thanos snapped it out of existence. I desperately want that, so that I'm trying to watch the Grinch horror film. I'm trying. I messaged the director on Instagram, and all he said was like, you gotta be patient. It's coming to streaming services hopefully real soon, which isn't thing that's saying like no streaming service is buying the rights to this movie, which I thought he would just hook me up with a link, like a Dropbox link. Just give me a fucking Dropbox link of the Grinch movie so I can see. I just want to see it. So thanks for watching. Cocaine Bear, 6 out of 10. There it is. I never liked Smokey Bear. It's like I get that you're trying to help the forest and stuff, but I didn't like how fucking bubbly and cute he was. It made him more intimidating because he's so large and he has this tiny hat, and he's just like, you can prevent forest fires. And he like would walk up to you and shit. And I'm just like, can you imagine like a big cartoon bear just walking out of the forest and like accusing you of starting a forest fire?